Alright guys, welcome to part 2 of the nickel Nascar breakdown. Nickel Nascar. And I also want to update you real quick about what we're going to do on the YouTube channel, what's going to be happening over the course of, the next, probably, I'd say probably until the next Madden comes out. And what we're going to be doing is, check my phone, it's 4:45. What we're going to be doing over the next couple of months is I'm going to try and commit to making 2 to 3 videos, maybe I'd say more along the lines of 3 to 5 videos per week. And I don't want to set the ceiling too high and not be able to reach it. So I want to start at 3 to 5, and if I get more, I get more. If I don't get more, it's just, you can expect that. But what's going to happen is we're going to go over and we're going to go through and we're going to make a defensive scheme. We're going to make an offensive scheme. We're going to have at least one defensive scheme a week, one offensive scheme a week. And then on Fridays, we're going to have a full game with the scheme that we made that week. So, for example, this week we're going to have the nickel Nascar defense and the Arizona offense in our full game on this Friday, because we did Arizona yesterday, and then we're going to do nickel Nascar today. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. That's basically how we're going to do it. And we're going to have, in between all that, we're going to go through and maybe do some depth chart breakdowns or some roster breakdowns, depending on or certain specific plays, like money plays. I don't know if I don't really like doing money plays because it's not really a scheme, and so if you just run one play all game, you're going to get locked up eventually. We're going to go over how to stop certain things, like, for example, how to stop bench, how to stop text and cross, how to stop user catch, tight end streaks, stuff like that. We're going to go over how to stop A-gap blitzes. We're going to go over how tips like that will be kind of filler stuff, so we'll do those. Maybe that'll be the other 2 videos we do. So we'd do the scheme stuff, and then we do, for example, today is Monday, so this does it for the scheme part of the portion of the week for 2 days. So over the course of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm going to make 2 videos. One probably going to be how to stop A-gap blitzes, and the second one probably be able to how to stop tight end streaks, okay, or how to stop out routes or something like that. So I'm going to have an offensive tip and a defensive tip, and then I'm going to have these schemes. So hopefully that's going to give you guys the content that I know I've been neglecting. I have a ton of content that I've recorded. I've just been too lazy to upload them before I go to bed for some reason. But we're going to get back on that. We're going to start paying a little more attention to that. I think it's really important to share the knowledge I have gained over the last 3 or 4 months in this game. Okay, so back to the scheme. The last play we discussed was the sugar blitz. And we talked about A-gap pressure, basically just this common setup here. And what you would do is go ahead and re-blitz JPP, and you would, in the attempt to get the A-gap pressure there, the little loop in A-gap pressure. Okay, very common concept. We also talked about edge pressure, basically just globally blitzing linebackers down will create double edge pressure after you spread them. And we also talked about the concept, or the formation in general, as how we base a line and then we get how we get our linebackers stacked without showing blitz. As you see here, stack over. What I mean by stack is we stack them over the outside hips of the tackle. So for A-gap pressure, we're just going to re-blitz JPP out of sugar blitz, and we're either going to get A-gap pressure or we're going to get edge pressure. It just kind of depends on how the offensive linemen pick it up. Okay? And then for edge pressure, all we do is we re-blitz the end on the side we want it to come from, and we re-blitz the back on the side we want it to come from. Then you just zone the opposite side. So this is basically the setup. And we just come right off the edge. The center gets occupied by the air. It's a very common setup, but it's very quick to set up. Okay? And if we want to bring it from the right, we've got, again, baseline press coverage, shift backers out, then reset the backers. That's very important. You need to reset them so they come over these at this position here. Okay? Then again, we flow Thomason as well. If we want to bring pressure from the right, we would contain the end that we don't want it to come from, re-blitz the end that we do want it to come from. I'll go ahead and hook Rivers and then go ahead and get Williams. And then we just use a safety. It's really quick once you get the hang of it, but again, it does take some time to get the stick down. But here's left side or right side pressure. Okay, so basically, as far as like click-on adjustments, we're only making 2 click-on adjustments. As far as global adjustments, we are making probably 3 to 5. So in my opinion, this blitz should take 2 seconds to set up. So if you count, I'm going to set up a double-edged blitz here, and I want you guys to time how long it takes for me to set up the blitz and for him to call hike. So as you see here, it only took probably 2 to 3 seconds, and that's going to be plenty of time. You should have probably 3 to 5 seconds every time in between plays, maybe even a little bit longer depending on your opponent. But for a normal quick hike opponent, you still are going to have 3 to 5 seconds. Again, it takes probably 7 to 10 seconds for the play clock to go from usually to go down to 0. So that's how long it's going to take them to snap the ball. In my opinion, you're going to have probably anywhere from 3 seconds in a no huddle situation to if you're playing a quick hike dude, probably to 10. So 3 to 10 second window, you're going to be able to set these blitzes up, no problem. If you get the hang of them in practice mode, that's what you can do. So let's talk about the zone counterpart of these blitzes. And for that, I want to use a Sugar 3 DB fire. You see the same formation, nickel normal. If we baseline it, good baseline. Yeah, baseline press coverage, and then shade backers out, and then reset them. Oh, this is the nickel normal. My bad. I called the wrong play. Make sure. Sugar 3 DB fire is what we want to call. Yeah, but we have a baseline. Let's see what the outside will work here. Okay, baseline press coverage. As you see here, the linebackers will flow. And when you run the zone part, the zone portion, you won't have to shift backers out. They'll automatically go. For some reason, the man version gets caught up sometimes. But here's the reason we bring this dude down so much is this blitz angle. Now, all we have to do for pressure out of this formation is globally blitz the right of screen backer to the down. So that's R1 on the D-pad, and then the R stick to the right. So it's the LOB to blitz, but it's the right of screen linebacker. So it's kind of confusing the way they term it, but that's all you have to do. Now, if you want a little faster pressure, you can go ahead and re-blitz key minute. You don't have to do that for the blitz to come in. However, I have found that it makes the pressure a little bit hotter. But all you do is you just bring comments, run him off sides, and click off, and then globally blitz that backer. And then you have time to go ahead and make any adjustments you want. You could go ahead and yellow everybody on the field except the deep safety. You can go ahead and put him in a yellow and user him, and now you have good coverage quick, and you're going to bring pressure. As you see, we get the B-gap pressure from the safety there. But again, if that linebacker on the left gets caught up, all you have to do is just spread the backers and then reset them. As you see, he'll go right into the gap. But if you see here, if we just bring that safety down, all we have to do really is you could contain Williams, but I'm just putting blitzing. But I usually actually do. If I have time to get over there and contain him, I will. But otherwise, I'll go ahead and just globally do it. But contain will stop screen. So that's all you do for this play. And again, you get solid pressure from the left side. Very good blitz in general. Let's talk about how we bring it from the right side by only making a couple of quick adjustments. So now we have everybody in the gaps. And now all we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put Thomas in a deep blue. We're going to go ahead and put Hugh in a contain. And we're going to go ahead and globally blitz down the right of screen backer, and we're going to go ahead and blitz down top. Basically, all you're losing is a yellow over here. And you can go ahead and put roll in a yellow and shade coverage to the right. And this safety right here will go into the deep blue zone, which is actually good flow coverage. And the concept of flow coverage, I'll go over in another video. But you have good flow coverage to the middle of the field. And as you see here, we're going to come right off the right side untouched. So that's how we bring pressure left and right from the zone concept. Okay. So we've gone over the left, we've gone over the right, we've gone over those same concepts from both sides. Let's talk about a play that we mix in from time to time, the Sugar 2 disguise play. This play is very good for if you want to just mix up a cover 2 sync look. This is a cover 2 sync look, and it's just the same concept. Go ahead and just, all you have to do for pressure is just re-blitz Kiwanuka and slide this dude in. You don't even have to do anything on the right. I mean, you could go ahead and contain Tuck if you want, but you could leave him blitzing, or you could contain him. It doesn't really matter. But again, there you see left edge pressure. All you have to do is bring the dude down. That's all you have to do for pressure out of the Sugar 2 disguise. Again, just baseline, and then shift backers up, and then reset them. Bring Thomas down, snap of the ball, and you're coming from the left side. Now, if you want to bring right side pressure, this is where your adjustments have to come in. All you would do for the right side pressure is the same concept we've been doing. You're just going to globally blitz the right of backer down. Then you're just going to zone Thomas. So, for example, if I was going to be running this play, I would probably put Thomas in a deep blue, and I would probably shade coverage to the right side of the field. I'd put Phillips in a yellow, and then a deep blue Webster if I had time to make all these adjustments. And then I would use Rivers, and I'd go to the right side of the field. I would cover this area with my user defender. Okay? But basically here, we're coming from the right side now with basically global adjustments. Pressure comes in really quick, and it's very easy setup. Okay? So that's how we send pressure right and left from the Sugar 2 disguise. Now real quickly, I want you guys to take a look at the play in general and why it works. Basically, the angles of the tackles here that we have is very nice. And if you guys want to get deep with it, you could potentially get a gap pressure out of it, I think, if I remember correctly. No, it didn't work right. Okay, so that was just a one-time thing. That's some pressing earlier. So you do not have A-gap pressure from that I found yet. Once again, if you're going to bring A-gap pressure, it would just be the standard Sugar blitz, and what you would have to do is you would just go ahead and re-blitz JPP. Okay, and you'll sometimes get A-gap left, and you'll sometimes not. Now, if you want to make, let's try this real quick. Let's just lab this up. Baseline press coverage, and then globally blitz the left linebacker, which is going to be this defensive tackle, and then contain community. Let's see if we can get A-gap out of that. As you see, we don't. We just get right edge pressure, unfortunately. So, unfortunately, we can't get A-gap pressure 99% of the time. We get it probably 50-50 A-gap and edge out of the Sugar blitz concept, where we just spread the linebackers and we reset them and let the blitz angles do their job. Go ahead and re-blitz the tackles on this play. And sometimes you get A-gap, but most of the time it's just going to be edge pressure, unfortunately. So that is the scheme in a nutshell. You can run max coverage from this as well. So this is why we have the Sugar cover through bluff, and then we have stock purple zones, as you see, and we just want to make it look exactly like we're blitzing. So we're going to baseline press coverage, again, shift the backers out, then reset them. And then all you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and re-blitz Kiwanuka. You're going to go ahead and re-blitz Justin Tuck, and you're going to go ahead and put JPP and OC in a purple zone. You could also put them in flats, but I personally like the purple zone because of flow coverage, guys, and we'll talk about that in a later video. And these blitz angles are very good. You're going to get a quick block shed, as you see, maybe 2 seconds for a block shed, and you're in. The theory behind that formation is you're going to stop most stuff. Again, you can put the defensive tackles in any zone you want. It doesn't really matter what zone they go in. So they can go in a deep blue, they can go in a spy and a purple, they can go in a flat, they can go double spy it. It doesn't really matter, guys. Get creative with that. But again, and you can get creative with bringing the safety down here. Again, he acts like this linebacker. So say I want to bring pressure from the left side. All I have to do is just re-blitz roll, really. And you're going to come off the right side. So a lot of things you can do with the nickel Nascar formation. This is just a max coverage concept that I saw the other day. That I saw out of stock purples, and basically all it is you're just putting them in deep blues, shade coverage out, and what it's going to stop is it's going to stop these pain in the neck to defend tight end streaks, as you see here. Just mimicking the streak. I'm going to pass feed it in there, and there's 3 people there. So I mean, the odds of them getting it is really slim. Now, what I would actually personally do, guys, out of the Sugar 3 cover 3 bluff max coverage concept, is I would go ahead and spread line. Go ahead. You definitely want to re-blitz these dudes because they get nice clean blitz angles. If you want to deep blue these dudes like so, and you want to shade coverage out, go ahead and get on one of the linebackers. It doesn't really matter which one. I would personally use the one who's not as good as a cover, aka Keith Rivers, and I'll go ahead and put him in a flat zone, and then I would just user him wherever I want to go. So what he's going to do is that means that purple route will not get sucked down by curl flat concept, by a flat route. So if you had, for example, if you had Austin on, say, a hook route, and you see that flat route on Murray, Murray usually will suck down this purple defender, but when you have this flat defender, he's not going to. So what you do is you would just user this flat. You see he does not get sucked down for the curl route, and you're just flowing covered upfield. And again, the blitz angles are going to give you probably 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball. You're not going to have a whole lot of time on your hands to be throwing the ball. Pretty quick. So that's how we use the max coverage concept from sugar cover 3 bluff. And I'm going to give you one thing you could probably lab on your own. This blitz angle from OCMU Anywhere is the A gap, so to speak, blitz angle. So you could mess around with this at home. Basically just re-blitz Rivers and see if you can't get A gap pressure. As you see, we get edge pressure, which is not what I wanted. I want A gap, guys. So it's something you're going to have to lab yourself, unfortunately. I'm not going to be able to just give it to you. I haven't found A gap yet. I'm still working on it. So we could actually try this real quick. Potentially. Nope. But anyway, guys, the sugar concept and the sugar D's, what happens is they don't get sucked down. So we've gone over sugar, we've gone over max coverage, we've gone over pressure left and right, we've gone over somewhat of an A gap pressure, and we've gone over like 3 or 4 different coverages behind what we're doing. We've gone over adjusting the coverages so that they're more shootable. So real quickly, I want to go over something out of the sugar dude disguise. I want to go over a max coverage concept out of this formation. So what I would do with this max coverage concept, I would go ahead and re-blitz the ends, and then I go ahead and put these dudes right here in deep blues, and I'd shade coverage to the outside. I'd actually put Umanure and JPP in hook zones, and deep blue Williams and deep blue Rivers. Then I go ahead and hook Thomas, and I would user I'll go ahead and user this deep blue. So the reason I would user it is because you see how it goes to the left. I want to go to the middle, so I'm just going to user it up the seam. So I'm just going to cover this middle deep, nothing middle deep, nothing middle deep, and you have pretty much everything else sewed up. A quick blitz, quick coverage sack. So the nickel Nascar guys, it makes passing pretty much very difficult to do. Max coverages from it are very good. Again, a lot of concepts around, again, sugar blitz. If you want to run max coverage out of sugar blitz, you're crazy. But go ahead and do it anyway. You can go with this. Again, you just re-blitz these dudes. Put these dudes in hook zones. You can put these, and then just put these dudes in any zone you want. So you want to stop trying streaks, you want to put them in deep blues and then shade coverage out. Everyone's manned up. You have decent pressure coming inside, and there's really underneath's really the only thing that you're going to be able to get. So there's some max coverage concepts out of these sugar coverages. Again, some stuff to lab up, some stuff to cook up. If you can take this deep to the next level, more power to you. This is so far the best I've got. Now let's talk about the nickel normal mix-in and the sugar D from it. Now if you shift the linebacker to the right, you see his blitzing up there. And basically out of nickel normal, what's going to happen is simply by re-blitzing tuck, you're going to get double edge pressure. Hopefully. Not which double. So you do have to shade, you have to spread, you have to crash line out. So what happens with a sugar, if you audible into a sugar play, well, it doesn't really matter what play it is, but the sugar 3 DB5 and you shift back or shade right, this is the one out of nickel normal. You're going to be able to bring pressure from the left by simply re-blitzing Kiwanuka, or no, and containing Umanure, I think. Pressure. Should be B gap. No, center slides over, unfortunately. So we're gonna have to go ahead and crash line up. So the only problem with the nickel normal is they don't stack. Well, if you see here, they stack from a sugar play. So again, other millions of things you can do from here. But however, or not a sugar play. Oh, I'm in the wrong formation. Never mind. I was accidentally I was still in the the stuff we were going over earlier. So the sugar 3 DB5 from the nickel normal formation. We're going to audible into it. We base the line, press coverage. That's it. And we shift the backers to the right of the screen. And basically we've created a 4-3 stack concept. As you see, the backer and the safety are now on the outside. And if we shift line up, or if we crash line up, we're going to get good blitz angles. And we just re-blitz the ends, and you should get double edge pressure. As you see, we get edge pressure and B-gap pressure from that zone play. Now, if you want to bring the left side pressure, you would just, again, you would just not. What we do is we audible into it, we press coverage, shift line up, crash up, shift backers left, re-blitz Kiwanuka, bring Thomas down off the hip. And what we would do here is we would just we would zone this dude. So we would contain tuck, and then we would just zone the linebacker. I personally put him in a deep blue and then put Amokamura in a hook zone. So that's just my personal enjoyment. And we see here we're going to bring pressure off the left side. Very fluid formation, nickel normal. Again, audibling into the nickel normal because we don't have to do anything crazy. We can they're all baseline setups. Very quick, come down. And if we want to bring pressure from the left side, or from the right side, I mean, you would just zone Thomas here, and then you would just re-blitz tuck. That's all you would have to do, and you're going to get pressure off the right side. Again, you would have to crash line up to get your proper blitz angles from the line, which is L1 up on the right D-pad. But the concept is there. Again, crash line up from nickel normal. You don't have to spread them. And all you would do is you would spike Kiwanuka, contain Manura, zone Thomas, and just re-blitz tuck. And usually we're going to get right of screen pressure. Sometimes the tackle slides over, unfortunately, if you do the spy and contain stuff. But if you leave the dudes on the left blitzing, the pressure comes in very fluently. The only reason we do spy and contain, in my opinion, is just for screens. If people are throwing screens, I'll pop the contains out on them. But if not, I'll just re-blitz in, as you see here, shift the backers over. And the blitz angle from this dude right here, you don't have to re-blitz him. If you want to, you can. And the pressure will come now from the backer. But it's not as clean, it's not as fast. So I personally don't do it. It makes the blitz faster to set up. So this has been a quick breakdown of the nickel Nascar package and the nickel normal package. If you guys have any more questions on this, hit me up. I have a lot of stuff out of this formation. But not a whole lot. I haven't seen a whole lot of people run it this year. I know a lot of people have wanted to run it. As you saw there, this is something you guys can experiment with. Two-man pressure from it. Basically, let's try this one more time. I don't know if I just got lucky or I actually found something. They don't slide over, Nickel? No, they do. Okay, so I got lucky. But the stuff to experiment with, stuff I want you guys to work on over the next couple of days while I'm working on getting some other stuff out, is I want you to work on two-man pressure, two-man edge pressure. And I want you to work on two-man A-gap pressure. If you guys come up with those setups, email it to me and I'll put it up. The reason I want you guys to work on that is I've been fortunate enough to find some stuff out of the 4-3 over and the 4-4 that has two-man A-gap and then of course your two-man edge. So stuff that you guys can be working on, in my opinion. If you guys want some stuff to maybe lab up, go ahead and work on that over the course of the next couple of days. As you see, we haven't been able to get it out of the nickel Nascar yet, but that is some stuff I want you guys to take a look at. Again, we broke down this formation to exhaustion. A lot of things you can do from it. Your quick audible up, two-man under, you could just run max coverage out. The only unfortunate is they're not stacked, and there's no way to stack them. See how they go back. However, if you show blitz, this is interesting. If you show blitz, if you see this, this is interesting. As you see, you've got the backer come here. So now you basically have 4-3 stack again. So a lot of things you can work on from nickel norm over the next couple days in nickel Nascar. some stuff that I want you, not only you to work on, but I'll be working on as well. I appreciate you guys taking a look at the video, taking a look at the scheme, the concept, and we'll be working on getting some other stuff out to you guys. Thanks for watching, and have a good afternoon, guys. This has been Cody Ballard breaking down the nickel NASCAR package. Thanks, guys.